What is up, my fellow ninjas? Today we're going to be doing something a little special. And that is we're going to be doing a Nunu jungle film review. So as you see here, we go at item, we start at red. The first ability you're going to max out is your Q, your bite. And then you're going to go for snowball. Right here, Akali tried to mess with us. So we just kite her out, let her mess with her camps. Ziggs rotated. We hit her with a snowball, hit her with a bite. Excuse me. And then Ziggs used his mini bombs and we killed her. After that, we went to take Scuttle. We went to take Scuttle and gank top. As you see, you want to charge up your snowball. It can go through minions, and then that E is his mini snowballs that Nunu throws. And so that's really nice and really important. Because that E, it has good damage from, well, it's not amazing damage, but it's pretty decent damage for being that ability. It can go from afar. Here, the issue was that she parried. And so we make a big mistake here, as you'll see. We dive. And then here, I made a big mistake as the jungler was approaching. I decided to dive her. Not the best approach. Sorry, it was the Akali, not the jungler. But yeah, as you can see, it's not the best approach. You can check other lanes. Everyone was doing okay. I don't know what Karma was recalled. Ziggs was there. But then we respawn back. So one thing with Nunu is your damage isn't very strong. It really isn't. So you have to be careful. Unless you build some type of AP, like if you build Road of Ages or something like that, which you can, it's a substitute. And I will go over that in the build. But in reality, yeah, with Nunu, it's pretty tough to do damage. You can hyper carry though if you do farm correctly, get fed. Nunu's really good at farming the jungle. And early game, like super early game, he can do damage. And so that's kind of what we try to exploit here. We get our ult, we're just holding the Akali. A big issue that you'll see in this match is that I didn't farm. With Nunu, if there's nothing active for you to gank, power farm. Power farming with Nunu is worth it. Because it'll get you levels, and with levels you can get your Q up. And when you have your first ability up, which is what I call Q, the bite, you can bite the dragon better, smite it. It's like 2 smites. You have smite and you have the bite. So the bite does re-heal you. It's really good in that sense. Here we take raptors. So what you want to do is you want to hit the mini raptors first, because you want to try to kill all the mini raptors first so you can kill the big one without taking too much damage. Here you want to kite with your snowballs, do damage, and then snare the red. You apply that little magic damage from the smite. Here we had to stop and then check, but then I saw that they had them, so I just decided to take on my red, because we need that as well to fight. Nunu with red, you do more damage. As you see here, I snowball. I miss. Gragas gets away. Pretty unfortunate. We could have had him much earlier than all this. Here I ult, and we get him eventually. It is quite a chase though. You're gonna have to back off here. Karma's there. Karma's kind of OP in the meta right now. She does damage. And then I saw the Krug, so I tried to kill him before respawn. No, sorry, not respawn, but reset. And he couldn't, but that's okay. So as you see, when you're farming, you just auto attack bite the mini Krugs. And you always want to bite the big Krug. So with Nunu, your main purpose is to support your team, whether it be tanking, just tanking or engaging or that type of deal. In certain cases, you can build AP and be a hyper carry. AP Nunu with some tank items. I mean, sorry about that. Tank Nunu with some AP items is not bad. Like going Rod of Ages first item is actually really good if you can afford it, if you can afford that luxury. Because it's not the question of the money or the gold. It's the question of, is your team going to be good enough to let you do that so you can even do more, be more productive. Because if your team needs you to be tank from the beginning, then going Rod of Ages isn't really viable. But like if you have 2 tanks, you can. In this case, I think I get killed here. I do. But, I mean, it is what it is. He throws the barrel at the end and gets me. Kind of sucks. But, team cleans up. And we're really tanky. Morgana did a good black shield. Because that let me live, baited Gragas in. And all that stuff. Darius was pushing. So, yeah. Let's check out what we have built here in the menu. So we went Sunfire. Definitely want to go Sunfire Cape. Just because that damage is pretty good. And then we went Ruby Crystal because we were going to build into our next item. If you look at their damages and who was fed, the Akali was kind of fed early. And Fiora was a little fed early. But they had good AP damage because Karma still hits like a truck. So, regardless, I went, I believe I went Abyssal Mask. Here, we try to snowball. We end up hitting the Karma, which is hilarious. We do a really good combo and get the Karma. And that Ziggs ult was amazing. It did a ton of damage. And Jin hit it, so that was a really good engage. And then I told it, as soon as you get bot lane like that, you try to go for Drake. You try to go for Dragon. Because the enemy jungler, he's down 1, right? So you try to go for Dragon. I tried to hit him with the snowball, failed. But then the problem was I had no one to support me, and that's an issue. You need help taking the dragon early with Nunu. You can take it alone, but if the enemies are around, you definitely need help. And so here, any downtime, you try to farm camps. And I wouldn't consider this downtime because they are starting dragon. But the reason I did that is so I can get my health up, right? And so I was full health, and then they were low health because they were taking dragon damage and poke. And so that's why I engaged again, and we got the kill. However, Akali came for me, so I hid in the bush a little. I tried to hide in the bush. Snared her, had a fight with her. Messed up the ult. I had to flash on top of her. That's okay though. Sunfire does enough damage, and we can essentially get her. Here, I snare the Corki. I'm not going to chase him. He's Corki. He'll do damage from afar. He can get away. So we just scare him off, and we try to take the dragon here. And so as you can see, we take it. Karma does hit us a little bit, but it's okay. We just get out of there. And so here we take a red. And then I was just analyzing the map to see what's available, what's open. Akali was taking tower, so we had to try to stop that. Unfortunately, she got tower. If you look here, Darius was facing Fiora with Ziggs. They got the kill. And then as you can see, the enemy jungler, you want to follow the enemy jungler in a way. I didn't here. And that can be risky, because if my team does decide to engage, it's kind of my fault if I'm on that side. Right? Because I'm not where the jungler is. In this case, team decided not to engage, and we were fine. We check next. We bought Abyssal Mask. It's really important to buy that, just because you can see they had the AP damage, right? As I said before. I should have been building against Fiora at this point, because she got more fed. But I had already kind of had Abyssal Mask in my mind, plus the poke from Karma. It's not the best. It's pretty OP. So we tried to get the Gragas, but he got away. He built full tank Gragas essentially, which is pretty interesting, I thought. As you can see here, I E'd the chickens, and you see how they all went to low health because you E the whole mini chickens. They're shielding the big chicken, just E them with the snowballs, and then you snare them, and then you use the W that takes the whole camp almost to low health, then you bite the big chicken. That's how you kill them. The most effective way. So E, snare, deal all the damage, W, bite big chicken. Repeat that again. Same thing with wolves, and same thing with Krugs essentially. All like multi-target camps do that. Single target camps, it's a little different. You try to W first, use your auto attacks, bite, and then kite with E. Here, get the snare Kali, stunner. We smarted it to save her health, because she could combo us. And the whole point was to zone her off, kind of that fight. As you see, I didn't go aggressive against her, I didn't want to kill her. I was just really trying to zone her off that fight. And I did the same thing with the tower here. I was just trying to zone her off. I was trying to zone both of them off right there. Unfortunately, Gragas hit me in there and I had to use flash. But we were able to snare him, bite him. Just be aggressive and zone him off. I know that was not a good ult. If they're so far, if they're like, whenever you see your radius of your ult, the diameter, if they're like, let's say, if they're more than halfway of the middle of the diameter, like on one of the radii, then I would just not. So basically, if they're very far from the circle, I wouldn't do it. That's a waste. Yeah, I guess mathematical terms are kind of confusing, but basically, yeah, that was a really bad ult because he can just dash away, jump away, walk away. It be what it be. I didn't know if Fiora was taking my red. It's kind of upsetting now. As you can see, we got our boots and we got our cloth armor. We went the stone plate and we went merc treads because they're not very heavy on auto attacks except for Fiora. Corki's more ability based, and so we needed that slow resistance because they have a lot of slows and snares and CC. We cut out the Fiora because she was being greedy at my red. And then here we try to zone off Gragas. And then as soon as Akali jumped, which was a big mistake by her, I ulted. I just snared her and ulted because I knew it was going to be a kill. Here, Karma goes in. It's a big error. I miss my smite, unfortunately. Don't get nervous. That's just a nervous thing I had right there. I usually don't miss smite that easily, and I did. But we did get the Corki there. We just snared him, bit him. And at this point, I was doing a ton of damage because the combo right here of Sunfire and Abyssal Mask is really good. Because Sunfire does the AoE damage, and Abyssal Mask increases all types of damage by the enemies once they're CC'd. And once they, yeah, so Abyssal Mask is really good. All types of magic damage, and Sunfire technically is considered magic damage, so it works really well as a combo. It's just like a burn build. Obviously, Andres would be the ultimate burn build, but can't do that as a tank. Just check over here. They were over there. So when there's downtime, just keep on farming your camps. I like to farm chickens. It gives pretty decent XP, like I said. Here, I think I went to Krugs. I did. And as you see, I did W. I bit it, and then I E. We bite. And the burn will take care of the rest, basically. Once you have Sunfire, it really doesn't matter how you start farming. Here we snare her. We hit her. And Jin was coming. So what I did is I kind of baited her into that fight. I snowballed her, snared her, ulted her, got the kill. I mean, at this point we were pretty fed. We're 7-2. So we were kind of doing a ton of damage. We're tanky as hell. So technically with Sunfire and Abyssal Mask, we're doing good damage. And we were tanky. As you see, we ended up buying Dead Man's Plate so we can be faster and be more annoying. As well as our auto attack being powered. Deadman's Plate synergizes really well. These first three items are like essentials for tank Nunu. You're just fast, annoying, and you do decent, pretty decent damage for a tank. You can get a Rolla in there or something. Here, we just got the snowball on her, and her ring didn't even matter. I used the plant here. We took the red. We killed him. After that, we decided to keep on pushing mid. They weren't in a good spot. Like right here, I'm just shoving the wave in because we want to push. There's 2 down. We want to keep on pushing. I have to use Stone Plate to take the tower a little bit, and I do that. And what that let us do is literally take the tower. Like tanking it for 2 or 3 seconds with Stone Plate is so worth it because it lets you take the tower. That's really cool. If you want to see the fight continue here, nothing really cool happened, but Darius was splitting, and that was important. And then, like again, they're pushed in. I'm just going to keep on farming. At this point, we had half of our Spirit's Visage. We didn't really need more armor because it really not really. Fiora started to fall off. I kind of went for a little bit more magic resist, just because, you know, Karma and Akali are kind of scaling. So I decided not to mess with that and just play it safe. I was wanting to build a Rylai's. I know it's a little bit of overkill, but Rylai's is actually really good, especially if you bite them first. It just slows them, and it makes your snare much easier. Iceborne Gauntlet's not a bite item on Nunu either. It's actually pretty decent, just because you're so mana hungry. But yeah, you can go Iceborne, you can go Winter's Convergence. There's a lot of defense options. But I just went a standard Spirit Visage, probably the best in this case. Here we snare Karma. I mean, we're a tank, and she flashed the ult, and that kind of made me upset. So I flashed in. I wasn't happy, and I was like, I'm gonna get this Karma regardless, and we do. We just sit her down. We end up basically dying here, and I'm not gonna go ahead and say this is worth it, but it set Ziggs up for a good ult, and the team was able to kind of get some type of fight in. As you see the ult here, unfortunately, Ziggs had to use all his stuff to get the kill, and it was really the Aerie that got the kill. It's kind of funny, but yeah, Darius was smart. He started to take the dragon. At this point, as you can see our build right here, we had Spirit Visage, so we had the 4 items. So the core of the build is that Sunfire magic, Abyssal Mask, and that Deadman's. Spirit Visage is also very important. If you're in a case where you need more healing and not need the damage, then I would get the Spirit Visage. But in most cases, the Abyssal Mask is nice. We had the dragon, we had full control. Darius got caught out here. Wasn't the best, but I mean, Ziggs' damage is insane, and that let Jhin and Morgana come clean up. And then we're just going mid. At this point, you just want to go mid and shove them all the way through. They're basically crippling. Here's a good point to take Baron. But yeah, aside from that, there's not much. I started to take the red. I was just like, I don't even need it, but it's good to keep the enemy without resources when you can. Here I just smite at Q. We try to see if we can get the Akali. That snare combo and the Ziggs bomb was great. I don't know how that landed. Akali did try to get away. We captured her, and Jhin hit the last hit on her. That was pretty cool. And then we went to Baron. Any teammates Black Shield, stuff like that will help. Morgana was helping a lot with Baron. Baron will do a ton of damage to you. Even with Nunu's heal, it does damage. Kind of insane. Well, we get Baron. She was taking my red again, which is hilarious. Basically, at this point, the enemy team's on their knees. They can't really do much. You have Baron. You have full control. We're just dominating them at this point. And look how much that Gragas barrel did to me. Didn't even do a sliver. Here, I'm just going to push Gragas out the fight, because he is their form of CC. So I wanted to push him out the fight, right? And actually, that set up a really... Darius set up a pull, and I set up my ult, and we got him. And so they had no front line. And so what that does, while a small no, it didn't really matter. But that no front line really helped take the enemy team out. And so that's why I did it. So yeah, as you can see, here are the charts. 22,000 damage is pretty good for a tank. And we took a ton of damage with us, 19,000. Did really good. And I'm just going to go over the build here for Nunu. So if we go to Nunu, where is Nunu and Willump? Oh. Right here. We go here. Our build is... Sorry. This default. Basically, it would be... Instead of the Thorn Mail, I forgot to add it right here. It would be this. That would be the main build. Randuin's is better than Thorn Mail in some cases, but you can swap. And so yeah, it's Sunfire, Abyssal Mask, Deadman's, Stone Plate of your choice, Spirit Visage, and Randuin's. Substitutable items. You can go Magic first, you can go Rod, and then you can go Sunfire. That's my damage build. I will show you in a second. I will be doing a video over that, so be prepared. But if we were just to substitute tank items here, it would definitely be, instead of this, you can go Spirit Visage first, like Sunfire into Spirit Visage. That works really well. Then you can, you can go for Thorn Mail. You can do a lot of things. So it's all up to you. Warmogs is really good with the health stuff. Iceborne isn't bad. Protector's Vow is actually interesting. Winter's Approach is really good. Force of Nature is amazing if you have the luxury to build that. Frozen Heart's nice. All the tank items with Nunu are pretty effective. I wouldn't say there's one tank item that's like, oh, don't build it on Nunu. For AP, Rylai's is not bad. It's actually pretty interesting. Roa is nice. Archangel is not bad if you do have a lot of mana, if you go mana path. That's about it. I mean, the other AP items are pretty much more assassin oriented. And so I would really only stick to these two. Especially Roa. For boots, as I said, Stone Plate is going to be your main thing. You can go Proto Belt for more damage, but Stone Plate for me is the best. And then, obviously, you want to go either Ninja Tabbies, or what they're called, Plate of Steel Caps now, and Mercury Treads. But yeah, that's my Nunu build, guys. Really quick, the runes for this build. Phase Rush, Triumph, Hunter Titan, Pathfinder. People say, why Phase Rush? It makes you very fast and very sticky and annoying. And that's why I like it. If you do want more tankiness, Aftershock is the way to go. Font of Life isn't bad either. But I personally recommend Phase Rush. Nunu's a pretty tanky character on his own. And more tankiness won't help as much. It's not like you're very close to your enemies always. Well, you are once you snare them, but the point is, you're not a main damage dealer. Like on my Shen builds, I go Aftershock. Or on other champions, I'll go Aftershock, just because you want to deal with really good damage, because of that little Aftershock burst and resistances. But with Nunu, since you're building full tank most of it, you'll be fine. Phase Rush is really good for the mobility. Triumph helps you execute and restore that health in 1v1 jungle fights. And then Hunter Titan gives you that max health, which is, and that 3% tenacity. And tenacity is really important. And Pathfinder just gives you movement in the jungle and the river and all that. And you want that while using your ball, your snowball. If you see I was ganking, I was faster with the snowball because of Pathfinder. And that is it, guys. That is my Nunu jungle build. I hope you guys liked it. Please like, comment, subscribe. Any suggestions, anything like that. And I'll see you on the next one.